shop's a reckless machine, and every spark is carving out our fate. The molds are waiting to bite, the silver dripping like night. This is the chaos every Wednesday we create. We're counting down. The temp is rising high. We forge the crown. No limits in our sky. It's the Midweek Meltdown. The Midweek Meltdown. Grab your seat, embrace the blast. These pours were never built to last. Yeah, it's the Midweek Meltdown. We're pouring silver tonight. The furnace glowing bright. It's the moment all the savages wait for. The moles are hungry again. The metal's letting loose rage, and every pull becomes a legend on the floor. We're counting down, 'cause once it hits that flame, there's no turning down. This reckless night. It's the Midweek Meltdown. The Midweek Meltdown. We're melting fire into art. Every pour's a savage start. Yeah, it's the Midweek Meltdown. The metal's ready to scream. The shop's a reckless machine, and every spark is carving out our fate. The molds are waiting to bite, the silver dripping like night. This is the chaos every Wednesday we create. We're counting down. The temp is rising high. We forge the crown. No limits in our sky. It's the Midweek Meltdown. The Midweek Meltdown. Grab your seat, embrace the blast. These pours were never built to last. Yeah, it's the Midweek Meltdown.
Let's go live. Oh, let's get this thing following me. Hello. Welcome in, everybody. Hope you can see me. Can you see me? All right. Let me turn this motherfucker up a little bit. Oh yeah. What do we got? This tune is kind of Japanese cartoon. Oh. Domo arigato, Mr. Roboto. Let's see what we got here. See if these things are warm enough. Welcome to another midweek meltdown. Hopefully everyone's doing pretty okay. I know my week's been pretty fucking awesome so far. Who we got? Like Dragon Ball Z, like Dragon D's nuts. It's been a busy week. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but silver is fucking crazy. No 50-cent blow. Get the stream started. Silver's been going nuts. Website's been going nuts. The group's been going nuts. Fucking nuts. You know how it is. Let's pull you in close and show you what's on the chopping block today. What's on the docket. Just my own sin. Let's see. What's up, everybody? Welcome in. 38 Savages hanging out with us. We have this guy. Let's see if I can get that to focus for you. All right. You don't want to focus. Let's pull you up closer. Focus. There's a nice picture on Facebook if you want to see it. Yeah. This one's weighing at 2.7 troy ounces. If you're new here, we're pouring a few of these pieces live on stream. The only way to claim them is you will get somewhere within the stream, you will get a safe word. First 15 people to spell that safe word correctly will win an invoice. What's the invoice, you say? I don't know. I haven't done the math yet. Times 264. 264 is what these are going to be. The invoice is going to be for 264. Only 15 mintage, max mintage. All right. We sell 10. We sell 10. But throughout the stream, you'll see people bidding on the prototype. So when you see on screen right there, it's a prototype, 2.7 troy ounces, marked 000. So how we mark our prototypes. So yeah, get in there, like swimwear, and bid it up. We got J6 Metals at 300. He's going for another prototype. Do not let this guy off easy. I'm telling you, the guy's a savage. Show him how savage you are too. Well, how's everyone doing? I hope your holidays were nice. We had what, Christmas and New Year's. Didn't get to see you guys much other than the Saturday night Shrek and Wreck show. Hope you guys had a good Christmas and great New Year's, and cheers to fucking 2026. We got a lot of big things cooking over here in the Reckless Metal shop. It's gonna be a fun year. So yeah, come hang out. Grab a seat, grab a drink, invite your cat. Don't choke your chickens though. You're gonna need them. The world's coming to an end. 310. 50 degrees is nice. Where are we at right now? We're showing 68 in the shop. It's nice. I like that. Thank you, Chaos. Ooh, so we have. I wonder. It's here somewhere. I wanted to do some Reckless Metal signet rings, and we casted one, and it came out great. The only problem is it was $9.99, and it's super soft. The problem with that, you hit it on something, that shit bends. And I don't fuck with sterling, so I'm reaching out to a friend who does investment casting to see if he can't take on the task of handling our rings and some of the pendants we have designed. And I'm gonna tell you, those fucking 1 ounce pendants are a pain in the neck. Yeah, tell me how your day's doing. Chat it up. We're here. We're a community. It's supposed to be talking with your friends. Don't sit there in silence. Don't make it awkward. Don't make it weird. Don't make it fucking weird. That's the worst. You got that one friend that sits in the corner while everybody's talking to his wife. Don't be that guy. Oh, you didn't miss anything. You're missing the auction, and you missed the price. This is a max 15 mintage. I'll give you the safe word sometime throughout the stream. $264 is going to be the invoice you win. What else was it? 2.7 troy ounces. Oh, first time here. Welcome in, Leslie. Welcome in. You missed a fun song. I always think, man, I'm gonna come in after the first time the song goes through, and I'm like, nah, I can't. I like the song too much, so I sit here and listen to it with you guys. It's the Midweek Meltdown. Anyways, not yet, Mike Roberts. You got to spell the safe word correctly. Sometime throughout the stream, I will give you the safe word. First 15 people to spell the safe word correctly wins the invoice. It's the only way to snag it. We don't take bins. We only take safe words. Only the safe words will get you out of this mess. It gets made the following week. Everything we make is to order. So whatever you ordered on Saturday will get made this week. We'll start shipping at the end of the week into early next week. It really depends on how many we sell. But yeah, everything's made to order here. Take our time, make it look good, make sure we're not a mass production shop. And I do want to, we're working on something we got a lot of new people that are coming into the group, right? A lot of new people coming in the group that really don't know Reckless Metals. And you go on our website and you look at our catalog, we got 200, 300 pieces on there. And some people think, hey, this is a big company. No. That couldn't be any further from the truth. It's me and my brother most days. My wife comes in and helps with shipping. She's got a job that she handles, but right now she's in a little bit of downtime, so she's been helping out a lot. And then my brother-in-law comes in and helps out when he can, but he's also got a full-time job as well. We had an employee that was supposed to work for us full-time, and we fired him. So that's just the way it goes. It didn't work out after the first 2 days. Got rid of his ass. So we're a small shop. We did have over the weekend someone place an order. I think it was like 7 o'clock at night. And I got an email at 6 in the morning the next day and said, hey, how come I haven't gotten tracking yet? Well, I'll tell you why. I was sleeping. I do that at night. We're not Amazon. All right. I would love to get these things out super fast, but all this shit. You'll see. It's your first time in the stream. We're gonna do some casting. You'll see what it takes to cast. It's not. We cast each piece individually. Sometimes we can get 2 into a mold. This one here, we can only get 1. And I'll show you the process here in a second. Each piece is individually cast. Then we throw it in the silver into the furnace. We melt each piece. Then we got to go in and clean it all up. We got to sand the edges, buff the back, get the credentials on there, antique it, buff it off to give you those highlights, the black backgrounds and the silvery gray foregrounds. So each piece takes a little bit of time. One thing about the Rolos, I'd like to maybe we'll do that Monday with the MLZB over on their channel. They're going to do a Reckless Adventure on Monday on their channel. They're going to be showing off Rolos. Maybe what we'll do is a little tutorial on how we press our Rolos. You want to see how every Rolo starts? That's how every Rolo starts. Little poured button. That's a Rolo. Well, it will be one. Still waiting on tracking for this piece. I'm sorry, man. Sorry. But wait till you see what we're working on. It's going to be a fun little introduction to the Reckless Metals brand. I think I'm going to try and film it next week. I'm going to have someone, videographer, come in and film it and give you guys a little introduction to the Reckless Metals shop. Oh yeah, we pour the buttons. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. And fucking poured, baby. Yeah, to each their own. We do some lasered pieces, do some, but we I like to do a little bit of everything, and it's just like to give you a little taste of everything. Like, come on. If you guys didn't see the live stream, we kind of showed off. These are stackers, interlocked. Man, what do you think? I'll keep you guys posted on when we're going to release those. There's a lot of production stuff behind that. Yeah. Oh, I'm not auctioning those stackers yet. That's that. There you go, Weeze. You need 200. I see that. Appreciate you. 200. I got you locked in for 200, my man. Appreciate you. All right, let's get this one poured. I think this one's hot enough. There's a red hot button in there. Look at that. Don't get your extremities anywhere close to that hot button. She's a feisty one. She'll tear you up. All right, let's go cast. Oh yeah, she's a mute clerk. Hold on, I'll pull this out. Oy. Ooh. Little flash on that one. I guess it wasn't too ready. First one from a cold furnace. Takes a little bit, but she came out right. Not too bad. See the flash on the back right there? Silver just wasn't hot enough. Could have gone in for another minute or so, minute 30. It'd have been all right. Not too bad. All right, let's go to the casting table. Not the casting couch, the casting table. Get your mind out of the fucking gutter. You guys, I swear. You fucking guys. Sick. Disgusting. I hope you don't kiss your mom with that mouth. Oh, we're going to do a little introduction to Reckless Metals video next week. I'm going to get a videographer in here and just kind of give you a tour of the shop and its employees. And by its employees, I mean me and my brother. It's going to be fun. I think you'll get a kick out of it. If the vision comes to life, you'll get a kick out of it. All right, so what I just did there is put some parting powder on. Teton brand parting powder. Thank me later. Not too much, not too little. Okay, and then you get a little, grab one of these 2-part casting flasks. See that? Little nubbins, so they lock together. You place the pour through. Bam. All right, let's get her going. Some proprietary blend of 220 mesh sand over her. There's plenty of brands out there. Find them on Amazon. PMC Supplies, Rio. Some call it Delft clay, some call it red clay. You got different mesh, right? Delft clay is going to be at your, 190 plus mesh. Petrobond's going to be 140, 160, 140 to 180 mesh, maybe. Sometimes 180. Typically around 140. Pack your sand in there. You get to watch how your pieces get created. I'll go a little bit slower on here so you guys can kind of see the whole process. It's not like I'm doing it 10 times faster when we're actually production, but go a little bit slower just to show you guys here. Start out with the first half. All right. Just put your finger in the hole a little bit. Pack that down. Gotta get that shit nice and tight. Okay. I like to brush it off a little bit. I'll take this fun little ball sack here, filled with white powder. Cornstarch it is. That's what we use on in between the two molds. We use cornstarch. It's a lot cheaper than using the parting powder. You see how much gets all over the place. That's enough to do like 2 molds, 3 molds. With how expensive parting powder is, we just use cornstarch. Does the trick. Don't use baby powder. Let me tell you why. Shit sucks. That's why. Causes cancer too. Anyways, parting powder has a higher flash point. If you use cornstarch or baby powder, you get a really rough finish on the final product, and you have to do a lot of detail work to get that out of there. So use that parting powder. It has a little bit higher of a flash point, so you don't get all the fucking cooked parting or cooked baby powder on your pour that causes like a stippling effect. That coupled with shitty sand makes it a rough piece. Get you some good sand, get you some good parting powder. Thank you later. I'm not answering questions, sorry, I'm just looking at this. I'll answer them here in a second. All right, another little bit of finger in the hole up top here. Just get that top compressed down, nice and clean. Pull it apart. There's your 2 parts. Okay. Some pours require a little bit more venting than the others. This is a pretty simple piece. Not too complex, not too many shapes, just a nice little rectangle. I like to put one right in the middle. If I don't put it in the middle, you usually get a nice little divot right there. And it's a pain in the ass to get out. So you'll see some of our pours have that. You know what that means? We missed this. So if it has a divot on the back, you can almost guarantee that I forgot to put that one. And we do that from time to time and say, fuck it, I'm going to send it out anyways. Start the half of the sprue over here. I like to give you the sprue about, 5/8 to 3/4 the width of the full piece. That usually does the trick for me. Clean that out a little bit. Press that sand down so you don't got little fucking buggers running around when you pour that silver in there. Keep your entry points clean. I like to keep that top clean too. Sand, this shit likes to get everywhere. I don't know if you've ever been to the beach. That sand likes to get everywhere too. This is no different. It's oil bonded, but it's still lots of grains there. I like to get into the crevasses. Other half of the sprue. And now we start on vents. Use whatever tool you want. I like this one. Put me a vent here and a vent here. Lets those gases escape out those corners. And I just put one here and one here for good measure. I don't think those two down the center of that are really necessary on this pour, but I'm gonna do them anyways. All right, so there you go. Vents are cut in, pre-cut, sprues pre-cut. Need to do a little bit of fine tuning here. Pull your mold out. Bam. Okay. Sometimes the mold likes to grab a little bit, so I just go in there with my finger and lightly caress it, touch it. Not caress it, lightly touch it, push it back down. Then we go do the cleanup. Right here on this sprue, I'll go in and clean that up, get all that extra shit out of there. A 50-cent blow. And come in and get those vents connected proper to the mold. Take a brush, get all that loose sand out of there. Another 50-cent blow. Not too hard. You're not working the corners with that kind of blow, all right? Just a little blow. Don't need to blow too hard. There she is. Ready to go. Well, almost ready to go. We're almost there. Stay with me. Don't go anywhere yet. 47 Savages hanging out with us. Thank you. Here is probably the most important part for me. When we found this out a while back, when we were having so much fluctuation with pours, we were like half-ounce difference, plus and minus. It was a lot, in this day and age, and where spots at, that's $40. This right here is probably the most important step for me. After you do all that, you go in and you cut this off. For me, it is, because we use 2 pieces of wood on either side, so it touches that sand. So that sand that was sticking out, once I put that sand on there and crimp it together with the vice grips, it pushes that sand and makes that mold thinner. Sometimes there's more sand, less sand, so that's why we were getting the big fluctuations. Sometimes there was too much sand on the back, and when we put that piece on, it made that piece thin inside. And so it made it a lighter piece. Sometimes it was less, made it heavier. So we just, every time now I cut that off, and we've been having very consistent weights, plus or minus 0.1, like a tenth. So I do this all day. It's my job. All right, let's go back to the pour table. Follow me into the darkness. Furnace. So what I mean by the pieces of plywood, I'll show you right now. I take 2 pieces of plywood and I fucking clamp it together. Some people take a clamp and just clamp this side. Sometimes when we have thicker pours and there's very little sand out here, I've had silver blow out the back. So I just stopped doing that. And we use this to hold all that sand in there, and that way there's no errors. See what I'm saying? $355 top bid. How many of those can I do in a day? On a day where I'm just casting, where it's just casting, and I sit down and do that, I could probably do 60 a day. If we're talking an 8-hour day. Let's see, where are we at? Does it know? Did he do? Nobody likes a finger in the hole here. Its color starts in the sack, right? Oh, we just getting caught up. Sorry. It's 2.7 troy ounces, $264. But don't claim now. You got to have the safe word. First 15 people to spell the safe word correctly will win an invoice for $264 on this Max 15 mintage 2.7 troy ounce 999 fine silver sandcast. How do you like that? We got the no, we can't reuse the sand. I'll show you that here in a second. We can reuse the bulk of the sand, the majority of it. The sand that gets burnt, that burnt sand you cannot use. I'll show you here in a second. Let's see if I can. I'll switch it over to the main screen after we pour this, and I'll show you. We go through about, I don't know, on a week where we have sandcasts going, we probably lose about I'd say probably 20 pounds. This 5-gallon bucket was emptied out last Friday, and it's already full. We're only on Wednesday. This thing's probably 20 pounds. I buy a lot of sand. A lot of sand. It's the Midweek Meltdown. I'll show you this. We'll switch screens, and I'll show you when I take it apart the sand that comes out of it that we can't use. Most pours we do 2 ounces over. So if it's right now, this is a 2.7 ounce pour. I put 4.7 in there. Let me pop you over to the main screen, and then it's going to be a little bit smaller, but whatever. I think you'll be able to see it. Can you see me? Let's see what that looks like. I have to bend down and do this. I'll do that. Here, let's get low so you can actually see this part here. Come on, follow my face. Let's go. All right, let me get down here. All right. See that black sand there? I can't use that shit. It's all that gets scraped off, put in a bucket. Nice and low. Look at that. Oh yeah, that one poured out nice. I'll show that here in a sec. But all that sand, watch. Let's get down low so you can see me. Come on. See that? Watch. And I'll probably have to scrape off another, I don't know, probably 1/8 inch of sand on there because it's a little black, but I can't reuse that. Most of the other shit I can. So this one poured out nice. I'll show you the difference between this one. You see the back here? See that there's no flash on the corners? I'll show you the other one for comparison. Yeah. Ooh. And that was just because this was the first one, and I didn't let it. That's going from cold to 2,000 degrees. So on this one here, you can see those corners kind of are shiny. That's just the silver wasn't hot enough. That's all. That wasn't a venting issue. That was just the silver wasn't hot enough issue. The vents were exactly the same on that next one. It's just the silver was up to temp, so we were able to get us a nice pour. Most of the times, Sometimes that back, when it's like that, it affects the front, so I'll have to re-pour it. Yes, Leslie. Yep, they are serial. Well, are you saying that first one I poured is going to be number one? No. For this, we'll pour all 15. My brother will clean them up. They get mixed up, and we just serialize them. But for the ones on our website, every time you order them, that would be the net. Say it's at 65. That is the 65th one we've poured, and then you go back and buy another one, and it's 66. That is the 66th one we poured. But right now, off the rip, it's not really the first one. We just serialize them. There's no way I'm keeping track of that. But it's just like anything else. Whenever you order rounds, they don't press them and then serialize them. Like if you're doing like a 1 ounce round from a private mint, they're going to press all 500 of them, put them in a tray, and then go serialize them. So it doesn't, just because you got number one doesn't mean it was the first one struck. I could be wrong, but serial numbers are just more to keep track of how many were made. Oh, the Galaxy finish. Oh no, the Galaxy finish. That what Scottsdale tried to sell. And bless their hearts. That's people call it lead-in frost. It's really not what it's called. It's just it's the way that silver cools when it's introduced. There's a little bit of humidity, a little bit of moisture, give you that Galaxy finish. We get that every once in a while. We have a casting machine. And every once in a while we'll get some pours that come out of there and they have that crystallized finish on it. I'm going to tell you what happens. It disappears. Doesn't stay as vibrant as they get older. I think that's what happened with Scottsdale. I don't think they were able to really figure out how to keep it on there, because we did that once and I was like, man, this is a cool fucking piece. We kept it up on the side. It gets surface scratches. It oxidizes a little bit. It disappears first. That crystal, that Galaxy effect. The only way you'd be able to really do it is if you put some kind of clear lacquer on it. I don't even know if that would work. And then I will tell you, replicating that in a mass production, damn near impossible. It has to do, like I said, with humidity and moisture, and unless you're able to control that humidity and moisture in these casting machines perfectly, which that's tough. That's a tough one. I don't see how you do it with mass production, and I think that's why they never came out with them. I don't know. I don't speak for them. Maybe there wasn't a demand for it, but I did see a huge demand for them, and they never came out. So. Yeah, it was. Got people talking about them. That's for sure. Yeah, we get pours all. I've actually made a few videos after that where we had that same effect on some of our bars. You can get that on poured bars as well. Dixie Silver Miner used to do really good with it, and they were only able to do it at like certain parts of the year. Like I said, when the humidity and the moisture was just right, you can get that on just regular poured bars as well. Kind of a luck of the draw type thing. 355 top bid. I was kind of hoping they were going to be able to replicate that in mass production. That would have been awesome. I would have bought one for sure if they figured out how to maintain that look for over an extended period of time. I just worry that what would have happened is they go to put their marks on it and everything, the stamps starts to disappear, and then a few years down the road, people just have a regular silver bar. $0.50 blow. At it, guy. It's dedication. I like that. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate all you guys' support. Actually make a huge difference in my family. Tell you, this manufacturing pouring business, it's, some days I miss construction. But I do enjoy it. I do enjoy this. So what I mean by that is construction was a pretty steady paycheck for me. This is fucking crazy. Wild highs, wild lows, that's for sure. You guys are keeping us in business, and I appreciate every one of you. No, we deal with 3 reputable refiners, and when one doesn't have silver, the next one does. And then when the other one doesn't have it, my third one always comes through. So there's a lot of refiners out there. I haven't seen it yet. I'll say that. Lead times have been a little bit longer, but nothing crazy. It's gone from like a week for me to receive it to, I should say 4 days for me to receive my order to sometimes 7 days. So I haven't seen it just yet. And if I ever did see it, at least from a refiner standpoint, I would hit up the people in the community. There's lots of good sales out there from the people in the community. Yeah, there's quite a few refiners we can go through. I don't, I use 3, but there's, fucking 3 dozen other options I could use to try and get some. There she is. Decent blow. Scrape off the back. Bam. That's it. She's done. Then she goes under the heater. Goes under the heater, grabs the next one. Let's head over to the furnace. Midweek Meltdown. Alright, let me get situated here and I'll check on chat. Remember, if you're here to buy the piece, it's a max 15 mintage on this design. Oh, follow me back over here. I'll get too sidetracked there, buddy. I'll be giving out the safe word here pretty soon. Always shot grain, yes. Shot, always shot. I just prefer shot. We did 1 ounce rounds for a while, and it was just a pain in the neck. Unfortunately, these refiners or whatever, they get a bulk order. They do a buy of 1,000 generic rounds, and sometimes there could be a fake one in the test. And so every time I got them in, to cover my ass, I would test every piece that we bought, every 1 ounce round that we melted, and it just became a nightmare of testing every single piece like that. So what we'll do is when we get a shipment in, we'll pour a few bars and test the purity on do a batch test on the order and check the purity periodically. Like I said, we buy it from reputable refiners, and sure they make mistakes, but every batch that we've gotten, I've never had any issues with. But when I was buying 1 ounce rounds, I have a box over there of, they were 1 ounce silver, but it was a 925 and it weighed more than an ounce, but there was 1 ounce of silver. So we had to toss a few of those off to the side, and or put a, I've got, like I said, I got a box full of iffy pieces. And then I just stopped doing that and started going the refiner way, and just much easier. That's part of their normal offering. At least everyone that I've dealt with, that's part of their normal offering. Um, a lot of the refiners will do like anodes and stuff like that. We work with the refiner that also pours shapes. Like I can get spheres and cones from them, and then I can get like anode, which is like bar stock extruded silver, which is what we made those first, the the tattoo bars, those flat ones we made, the 5 ounce and 10 ounce. They were kind of odd weight. Those were anodes from a company that we used back east, and we bought them, and they came in like, I don't know, they were like, I want to say about a foot long, and we cut them into the sections, and that's how we got those 5 ounce bars, and that's why they were odd weight. But they also did cones and spheres, and they did what they called popcorn. And it was like big clusters of shot almost, and then small grain shot. Right? What's up, Kanye Friday? Good to see you, man. Yeah, it actually would be a good time to get those out of here. Let's go to the furnace before this one. For those of you that are wondering, I do use a propane furnace. I hate, hate electric furnaces. They're the fucking worst. Um, Too many mechanical parts. This is a dumb piece of equipment. Gas, air. And that's about it. The only thing I could fuck up is I burn a hole through this thing, but it's stainless steel. I've had this thing for almost 6 years now, and I changed the KO wool on the inside twice. Other than that, this thing's been solid. I've seen people who use those electric ones. They go through many in a year. Fuck that. Stay away from electric. Too many mechanical parts going on over there that can fail. Your wire, your thermostat, anything that has to do with the freaking programming to get it up to heat, to temp, you know. This one, unless you have danger over and he breaks your regulator, there's no issues. It's just a regulator, some gas, propane, and you just get your air right, good to go. Fucking Danger came over here, busted my regulator. I'll never let that guy live it down. I've had that same regulator for 5 years. Danger comes over for one collaboration and breaks it. Fucking Danger fired him twice. I hope he's in here. Yeah, there's a reason his name is Danger. Fucking guy. I just talked with him last night and today. We're gonna do another collab here pretty soon. Make sure you get that Danger guy away from your regulator. All right. Safe word is regulator. First 15 people to spell it correctly. Safe word is regulator. First 15 people to spell it correctly will win an invoice for $264 for this Max 15 vintage piece. Regulators, mount up. 42 Savages hanging out with us. Thank you so much. All right. I'm going to back out. All right. I'm back out. Backed out. I got the filters to all messages. All right. I got Trenton, Bobby, Jim Mann, Kelly Blue Dog, Nate Sorg, Leslie North, Mike Roberts, Michael Zeilik, Silver Bean, Louise, Visky. Let me count those. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, 10. 11 is Visky. 12 is Hooten. 13 is Cook. 14 is Peepin' Mofo. And 15 is Randy Combs. I'll repeat that one more time. Randy Combs is going to close that out. So we got Trenton, Bob, Jim, Callie, Nate Sorg, Leslie North, Mike Roberts, Michael Zeilik, Silver Bean, Louise, James Visky, Nick Hooten, Greg Cook, Peepin' Mofo, and Randy Combs. Peepin' Mofo, if you can reveal yourself in the DMs to me or send me a message to or an email with your shipping info to info@recklessmetals.com. Unless I have your information, just let me know who you are. Thank you, Peepin' Mofo. Yeah, I was thinking somebody would have. Thanks, man. Thanks, Leslie. Yeah, it's fun to do for you guys. I like that you guys get to see how it goes down. Um, Obviously, when we're not just focused on this, we're running around doing other things in the shop, pressing buttons, pressing Rolos and buffing, grinding. We got a pretty fun shop in here. There's lots of tools and lots of cool shit in here. We got fiber laser. We got a CO2 laser. We got a ultrasonic sealing machine. We got a 100-ton press. I got my 50-ton press. All my 3D printers over there, 5 of them. All my tumblers to buff and to burnish everything. You got buffing wheels here. I got a what do they call that? Belt sander here. Bandsaw. This is my stamping table. This is where we do all our sand casting. Here's my casting machine. All the cleanup work. I got all my flask here. Well, this is half of them. The rest are under there. I got 500 pounds of sand in there. Yeah, it's a fun shop. Nice little press for doing our buffing wheels here. That's how we make our own buffing wheels now. Nice swamp cooler because it gets hot. My balls get sweaty. HEPA filters. We got a TV. Look at that TV. We got fans. We got plug things over there. That's my dust collection system. Yeah, it's a good time. 357 high bid for the prototype. Let's go. That auction will end when we go to end the stream here. Should be ending in about 10 more minutes. Pretty close. One more of these to pour and we get to go. No zip line yet. Got a nice get the little storage area up there. That's all our shipping stuff is up there. This is my shipping department in there. I'm actually they only got 2x6s. So I went to go deck this so I could use this space, and that shit flexed too bad. So I got to go put some 2x10s, beef that up so I can use that space. When we get the coin machine, that shit's going right here. Bam! Coin machine. We'll be going like hell, that's for sure. Once all that equipment comes, we got another press we're working on buying as well. So Mike for Democracy, I pay people to do my art now. Early on, we used to spend a lot of time drawing and doing all that. I could draw. I can do all that. But it comes down to time for me. And I can sit there and draw everything up and spend more time doing that than I do producing and making pieces. So I have right now, I used to have about 15 artists that I'd use for different styles. If I wanted certain styles, I'd go to a different artist. I'm down to like 3 people that I like to use. And then we have 3D modelers that do all the modeling for us. And what's nice with them is they'll actually come up with designs and share them with me and say, hey, I think this would look good for you guys. Or they post them up and we buy them. But we have three 3D artists that we use. We'll send them pieces to have them make them, and based off our art. All our art bars are done by a good friend of mine. My tattoo artist was drawing up pieces for us for a while. It's just my time's better spent producing these things than it is drawing for you. I'll sketch things out to kind of show them how I want it. Or now I'll sketch things out and fucking share it with AI, and I'll say, hey, can you clean this up? And then I'll send it to my artist to have him draw it. I really like the artist aspect of it. AI has been really good to me because sometimes there's that language barrier with my artist. And portraying and telling them what I want and trying to get without making so many revisions, because I don't want to take up too much of their times doing 10, 15, 20 revisions, which we've done before. We now use AI to help us translate what we're looking for. The problem with AI is it never gets things correct. You got 6 fingers, or the clock is fucking different numbers, or whatever it may be. So we use that, and then I'll tell them, hey, I like the point of view of this, but I kind of want to turn that point of view 15 degrees. I want to look at it this angle. And then the AI helps me really get the point across and hammer it home without me having to sketch a bunch of shit. Like I said, I've really enjoyed it stopped following me. I really enjoyed drawing most of it, which we do sometimes. But for the most part, I just pay someone else to do it so I can be in the shop and fucking produce. My time's better spent here in the shop, casting and making and producing, and that. I make more money than I do drawing. Yeah, we got to work on that. Exactly, Silver Bean. You'll never fucking. That's one of the things. You got to be able to take off hats here and there, if you want to run a successful business. It's some people really. Some people really enjoy the art side of it, and there's something I've talked about with a few people is like you could either be artist minded or artistic minded or business minded. You can't be both most times. Most times, like, an artist really needs that secondary person to do business for them. If you're going to scale, if you want to scale, and that's what we want to do here. It's hard to be both. And then you get then things happen where, like, someone's super critical of your artwork and you really take it to heart. And for me, it's like, I pay someone to do it because my time's better spent here producing the pieces. And I don't get offended if people don't like the art or anything like that, but I'm able to focus on the business than the art side of it. I would really love to just focus on the art side of it and leave the business end of it out. But, this is my business. I'm gonna run it. Now, if I was going to work for someone, I'd really be into the art part of it. Yeah, boy. Let's not get into all the fucking hats I have to wear running a business. And the one hats I don't want to wear is 3D modeling, artwork, and fuck, I really would like to get the production out of my hair and just focus on sales. But no, I do enjoy producing. This is fun. My dad used to always say, fucking go pound sand. And here I am doing it for a living. Literally. Literally. Last one of the night. Where are we at on that high bid? Where are we at on that high bid? Thanks, J6. I appreciate it, man. Oh, yeah. You know what you can tell those critics? Go pound sand. That's always fun. I'll tell you the other part I don't want to do. Customer fucking service. Well, I take that back. I enjoy the customer service when the fucking customers aren't assholes. I'll say that. I just, like, I don't know. Some fucking customers are just entitled fucking pricks. I'll tell you that. I'm going to tell you one thing, that the customer is not always right. All right. Sorry. I always hated that fucking saying. I'll tell you, there's some customers. They're often wrong. Not you guys. Uh, we've had some real fun ones, and that's people that aren't like in this savage group, right? That aren't part of the reckless community that we've built, that you guys have helped build. These are, you know, people, randoms coming off the street into our website and really don't know much about us. Like I said, we have issues with people thinking we're some massive company with 15, 20 employees running this stuff. And I try and be really open and honest about it. When you get your thing, just saying, hey, just so you know, we pour every piece to order, blah, blah, blah. And we try and let everybody know, but that seems people don't like to read. And then here's a fun story. Here's a little tangent for a sec. I had a guy call me. He's been a customer for a really long time. Older gentleman, nice guy. My buddy Rob. He called me up one day. The first time he calls me, and he's like, "Hey, are you Reckless Metals?" Yeah. He's like, "We talked about order. We talked about the brand, and we talked about the business." I'm like, "Yeah, it's just me and my brother, and my wife here and there." And he's like, "Wait, it's just you three?" And I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "Oh, no shit. I thought you were like a big company. I thought you had, several employees." I'm like, "Nope, we do it all. From the design, the manufacturing portion to the cleanup to the shipping to the everything is done by me and my brother. Really, my brother sits in here and he pours and cleans up pieces all day, but I'm running around doing all the other work, and then my wife comes in and ships for us when she has time. And so yeah, we're a pretty small business, and we're running like chickens with our heads cut off most days. I thought I was wrong once. I like that. That's a good little piece of. Where are we at? Yeah, I agree. Silver Bean. There's a lot of this fucking me first mentality out there. Um, I'm in this business, and I'm a small maker. And one thing I'll order a piece from, let's say it's Danger. We'll use him as an example, and or maybe it's I don't know, Reed Investment Caster. And once I place an order with them, I'm not like 5 days, 6 days later, like, hey, where's my shit? I know it's gonna get to me. These guys have names and built reputations. I know it's gonna get to me, and I'm not like, oh my god, this fucking guy's slow. This guy's a piece of shit. Because I know what it takes to make this stuff, especially on a large scale. Like, we're casting closed cast per week. We're probably doing, I don't know, 150 a week, and that's just closed casting. And if we have a bigger release, sometimes it's more than that. We just did the trees. We had 45 smalls, 25 mediums, and 5 large. So that's 75 pieces right there, and each one of those is cast and finished and poured individually and cleaned up and sanded and antiqued and lasered and serialized and all that stuff. It takes a lot of time, you know. I just say, if you guys are dealing with these makers, like, I really would like for you to go out and maybe hang out with someone who's close to you who casts and does this, and spend a day with them and just see what it takes. It's not a fucking press that's going bam, 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 and pressing your buffaloes. Um, and that could lead us into the spot price fucking argument where it's like, hey, silver's only fucking $80. Yeah, that's what I pay for in raw material. You don't the time, the effort, the long days, long nights, the fucked up cast, that don't pour proper, and you have to redo them. So you just spent all that time casting it and have to do it again, and all the errors and failures, and the equipment going down, and you're spending a couple hours getting it back up online and working again. The press blows the seal, and you got to take 2-3 hours out of your day to replace the seal or whatever it may be. Give these guys a little bit of a break, man. I know a lot of these guys are hustling. They're working their asses off to give you guys some cool shit. Yeah, sister wife so fucked up. I want another wife like I want a hole in the head. All right, where are we at on that auction? 370 JJ top bid. We're gonna be closing that here pretty soon. We're gonna be forwarding this last one. Right. Meow. Well, thank you all for hanging out with me tonight. I really appreciate you guys joining us every fucking Wednesday. Well, Wednesdays when we go live. It's fun to do this. Someone breaks a regulator, right? Oh, you bringing up old shit. No, just kidding. Yeah, right, Weeze. I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you. People don't look at it that way, though. This is I'll tell you. I've said this before on live streams, and I've talked about this on many rants that I've had. This is the only industry where they take a raw material price and say that's only what it's worth. Look at these brands that are selling t-shirts for fucking 60, 70, 80, 90, $100 depending on the brand. Most of that's done by machinery, and people don't bat an eye at spending that. Break down the raw materials, ink and cotton and polyester. You got $5 worth of raw materials at best. And no one says, "Oh fuck, are you charging me fucking $75 for a $5 raw material thing?" And but I get it. There's the stacker mentality where you're trying to get as much silver as close to the spot because you're trying to increase your weight. I get it, and there's plenty of that out there. And you know who makes that? Big mints who fucking make hundreds of thousands of the same design. I'm sure I'd love to make 100,000 of those, but that's not fun. Then I'm just one of those fucking corporate cogs. I'm just one of those. I'm just another fucking. I don't know. I'd rather stay small, limited mintage, keep it exclusive, make badass shit for really fucking badass people. You know what I'm saying? Um, and they wear them out quickly, right? This shit'll last longer than you. Um, but yeah, my favorite thing I heard the other day was from a dealer, and they said, "Silver's just silver." It's spot price. But then when they're buying the silver from you, they'll say, "Well, I can only pay you $10 back a spot right now because the refiner's only paying 6 back a spot, so I got to make money." Oh, so your time flipping something is more valuable than the person that manufactured it. So let's be honest, poured silver is not the same. It's a lot of fucking hours that go into this stuff. Like I said, a lot of long nights, a lot of fuck ups, a lot of bad pours and remakes, and just we get a ton of stuff. Where this isn't machine made. Um, but it's always fun to watch people discount your time and then say their time is worth more. Yeah, right. We do some more silver cock rings. Let's see what we can come up with. All right, let's see. What do we got? What do we got? 370 high bid. We're gonna go out. We're gonna do this going out fast. 370 going once. Oh, 375. Never mind. 400. All right, 400. Let me take a seat here real quick and get you over to the main screen. We did talk with Mystic Pines. We might be working with them on a little collaboration on Reckless Metals art and soap molds. Fuck, why not? Maybe come out with some fun scents like cigarette Um, this would be a fun one. Casino floor. You ever wonder what those smell like? Probably reeks. No, we're gonna do some Reckless Metals art in soap molds and come out with some limited edition meat butter. What do you think? Info@recklessmetals.com. Info@recklessmetals.com. Here, I'll type it in. Bam. There it is. Oh, Reckless soap on a rope? Fuck yeah. That's a great idea. It's a great idea. I'm digging that. Don't drop the soap. All right, let's go. 413 high bid. Regret would be a fucking awesome set. That's a great idea. I like that. Introducing the first scent, regret. It smells like desperation, bad choices, and I like that. I like that. Oh, look at this. Mystic Pine says, Leslie, if you win, throw in a tallow and a soap. What is that? That's $35 value? Come on. 413 going once. Get those bids in there. 413 going twice. That's fucking great. Regret. I like that. Going thrice. R E C K wrecked. 413 JJ. Let me screenshot that. All right. Well, shit. It's been another great Wednesday night meltdown. I really appreciate you guys hanging out with us, and you know, if you could share this out. I want to. I've talked about this before, but you know, as I've stated before, we are a small business, and you know, we stay pretty busy, but we could always be busier. I like the work. Um, and this goes for any small maker that may appear big. Shout outs and community engagement means more than anything to us. It really jumps our brand into the algorithm within that social media space. And for example, Drew Liberty posted a simple meme in our Facebook group, and it reached 45,000 people. And that started this just whirlwind of new people checking out our group. In the past 28 days, we've had almost 350,000 views on our group, and we've retained a small percentage of that. So just like, I think in the past 28 days, I think our group has grown 400 or 500 members. And that's with a 350,000 reach that are views on our page. Now, if that was a million, you know, 3x that, and we may have, you know, 1,500 new people, 2,000 new people, and it does good for you guys as well as it does for me. Obviously, it helps us grow the business, but it also helps you guys with secondary market and offloading some pieces. This is why we opened it up for the Reckless Metals group to sell to a few approved sellers to get some of that. Sure, there's stuff they can get on our website, but you guys have a lot of stuff that they can't get, and they're going to be looking at you guys to buy these secondary pieces. So the more this business, or the more the group grows, the more the secondary market grows, the more the demand grows, you know, and everyone wins, I think. So just think about that when you get a piece from someone who spent a lot of time making that and curating that piece. Give them a shout out. You don't know what that could do to their algorithm. It could change it drastically for someone. So think about that. Shout outs. It's been kind of a lost art. We've talked about that. When I got into this industry 2017, we started buying from other small makers and stuff. Shout outs were everywhere. Every time you got a mail call, it was like mail call, boom, Danger Metals, mail call, Investment Caster, Omen, whatever. There's mail calls everywhere, and our pages grew like crazy. kind of got away from that. We don't see that as often anymore. And so I'm asking you guys, if you have, there's some makers out there that you like, shout them out, give them a mail call, post it on your page, post it in their group. I know some of you don't like to share it, but don't share your whole stack. Share a singular piece. Hey, check out this cool piece of art that Danger made, or Investment Cast, or check out this statue. Can change the course of their business. Oh wait, shit. Yeah, it's a decent capture rate. You right, Silver Bean's been around. He knows. Unboxing videos used to be on every page. Everybody used to do it. And how often do you see that now, Silver Bean, in comparison to then? 2017 to 2019, it was hot. 2020, things started really cooling down. Well, no, I can't say that. 2020, we were still pretty good on shout outs. Everyone was sitting at home just fucking buying and selling shit off government money. And then started to see a decline in the recent years. But yeah, if you guys could, like I said, you don't know what that'll do to a brand. 350,000 reach in 28 days is crazy. Our posts were getting I would post a sales post and it would be like 500 post reach. We post it now and it's like 6,000 post reach, and that's because there's been a lot of eyes on our group. And again, it started from Drew Liberty posting one fucking meme, and it blew up. So Drew, thank you for that. Really appreciate it, man. Neither did I, Sterner. Neither did I. I was considered whatever it was. I don't know, special. But that's gonna do it for tonight. Thanks for listening to me at the end there. Thanks for joining us tonight. We'll be back Saturday. Do it anyways. You get a nice big hairy foot pick in there, and then that might go viral just because of that. But again, thank you for hanging out with me on the Wednesday Night Meltdown, or Midweek Meltdown. We'll be back Saturday night live on the Shrek and Rex show, 5 p.m. Pacific, right here on this YouTube channel. So make sure you're subscribed, like this, and turn on notifications to see when we go live. I'm going to close this out with our little ending. I think it's going to play the song for you. Listen to the song. It's a good one. Again, thank you all for joining us tonight, and I'll be sending those invoices mañana.
We're pouring silver tonight. The furnace glowing bright. It's the moment all the savages wait for. The moles are hungry again. The metal's letting loose rage, and every pour becomes a legend on the floor. We're counting down, 'cause once it hits that flame, there's no turning down. This reckless night, it's a midweek meltdown. The midweek meltdown. We're melting fire into art. Every pore's a savage start. Yeah, it's the midweek meltdown. The metal's ready to scream. The sharp's a reckless machine, and every spark is carving out our fate. The molds are waiting to bite, the silver dripping like night. This is the chaos every Wednesday we create. We're counting down, is rising high. We forge the crown.